Good morning, ladies. My name is Chaz, and welcome to the updated version of Custom Card Review. Sorry if this is a little bit late, because I can do something. So I decided, oopsies, sorry. I don't know how this has got in there, so let me turn that off. So, the archetype that I was trying to go for has gone a little bit of evolve from being just a generic stuff like search one card from your opponent's deck, it gains the effects, or inflicts damage to your opponent. And plus you can special summon one monster, and then except for itself, and then you could XYZ summon to bring out the dragon, and then of course, sorry about that, so now let's begin. So where we left off, I went over this into this, and now we're on this. This is the coin tosser girls. Like, basically toss coin, apply one of the effects, and then it actually applies it to both players. So basically, if you got head, both players draw a card from the top of their decks equal to this card's level is 4. Tails, it's the opposite. You mill cards. So then the field spell for it is that allows you to basically, or your monsters gain attack points from both players' graveyards and banish zones. Once per turn, during either player's turn, you can shovel one card from your graveyard or banish zone into your deck. Negate all cards or any attacks. So yeah, this card is pretty powerful. This one, super overpowered, because if you had 10 cards in your graveyard, you activate this trap card, you bring all of those cards back into your deck, and it will cause your opponent to automatically lose the duel. Because, it's like taking all of those cards that were from your graveyard, shuffling them into your deck, and their spirits go right to your opponent and consumes them. Like how the Nomu has, from My Hero Academia, has multiple quirks get pumped inside. Then the Eye of the Island. This is a trap card. It basically, and then you can add cards. Then this one, then you can, okay. So this one, you can't, both players draw cards, and then this one basically punish those people. Then there's 2 pendulum monsters. 0 allows all monsters' effects cannot be negated by card effects, can be chained by card effects. So once per turn during your main phase 1, you can shuffle one card from your graveyard or battlefield into your deck. Draw 2 cards from the top of your deck. And then this one is completely opposite. So once you activate this card with this one, your entire board is completely safe. Reason why is that this one, if your opponent activates a card effect or like summons a monster, they must discard 2 cards from their deck to the graveyard before they activate card effects or summon anything. But if they do not, then negate it. Instead, and you gain life points. So then, then this basically special summons a monster to your field, and this is a newer one. I created it today, and it is called Anit-soul Given Soul. This one is basically you can shovel one Anit-soul monster from your field or hand into the deck. Add 1 spell/trap card from your deck to your hand. If you do, skip your opponent's battle phase until the next turn. If this card's effects are negated by card effects, you can select 4 cards from the top of your deck, or select 4 cards from your opponent's deck. Banish those selected cards to to the banish zone. If it does, inflict 500 damage for each one of them. By this effect, if this card is sent to the grave, you can shovel this card into the deck. You gain 3,000. Yeah. And so this archetype is supposed to represents the people that worship the anti-souls. There's not soulless people, but they don't want anyone to try to take their souls and make them into cards, So, the Earth's unique effect is basically one of the other spellcasters' effects, but this one is superior. Because once you discard 1 card from the top of your deck to the graveyard, it is summoned. It is special summoned. Or if this card is special summoned, you can select 3 cards from your graveyard or battlefield to add them to your hand. If it does, then inflict 200 damage to your opponent's life points. If this card inflicts damage to your opponent's life points, this card loses 200 life points. Makes this card attack again. If it does, then your opponent must discard 3 cards from the top of their deck to the graveyard. If this card is sent to the grave, shovel this card and then negate all card effects from your opponents until the next turn. Water has if it's added to hand by a card effect, basically like this one, you can shovel 1 card from your graveyard to the deck, special summon this card in attack mode. But its attack points become double the attack points, and You can pay 200 life points to make this card attack again. And if it does, then negate all card effects from your opponents until the next battle phase. Yeah, and then, yeah, you can, if this card is sent to the grave, you can special summon or add them to your hand. Yeah. So then the Anit-soul man soul is basically a, if this card is activated, you can declare a card name from your opponent's deck or hand, banish that selected cards with that name max 6 to the graveyard. If this card, or if it does, then your opponent must discard all cards from their hand to the graveyard. If this card is in your graveyard, you can shuffle this card into the deck and then add 2 spell/trap cards from your deck, graveyard, or banner zone to your hand. If you do, inflict 300 damage, 3,000 damage to your opponent's life points. Yeah. So, and I forgot that it's supposed to be a spell card. I added, you take no battle damage evolving this card. It should have said effect damage. So, yeah. So then now the flame one allows you to add card, except for itself, inflicts damage to your opponent for each level this card has. If this card inflicts damage, you pay 200, and then, yeah. Yeah. So this card is pretty broken, busted, but to my eyes, it's like all these cards. Like this one gives your opponent, or gives you a negation and draw 2 cards. And then this one allows you to basically stop your opponent completely. Like, you activate Chain of Energy, and you activate that card with this card. You can add cards to your hand, or to your deck, gotcha cards, and you gain like 2,000, or inflict 2,000 to your opponent. This one makes you gain life points. Yeah. So, yeah. And for each of these cards, urns is different from my Darkness Blade, because Darkness Blade archetype focuses around a certain monster or monsters. Like this one, she can be sent to the grave, or no, shoveled into the deck to bring out her, the wife. This is the wife right here. And then to special summon her in attack mode. And then, yeah. And then the father brings out, like, or gets brought out by shuffling this one. And if you use like a Dragon's Kiss on it to bring out her, yeah. So, yeah. Each one needs a certain monster to be like on the field or in the graveyard. But it's way weak or stronger than my electric matter lines or electric lines, because these ones are pretty broken. Depends on how powerful they are. So yeah. So please leave a like, share, subscribe, and tomorrow I will do a what if, series that is not Lazy Boy, not that one, not that one, not that one. I'm trying to think, because there's actually a one of the other ones. If you guys want me to redo I'm trying to think, or what if Deku was a sleeper? Here, this one's Sleeping Man, because in this alternate one, Zuko is always like has bags under his eyes. And yeah, it's become so overpowered. So, peace out, y'all.